When people inside and outside of K-12 education blame the system, they may be thinking about inequitable access to resources, crumbling social safety nets, high rates of educator burnout, or the many regulations that dictate how schools operate. Most people just shake their heads. But over 2 decades ago, I decided to assemble a team to do something different. Figure out what parts of the secondary school system could be re-engineered, so a wide range of teachers and learners would enjoy greater success. We reviewed hundreds of academic pathways, curriculum maps, assessment policies, and instructional practices. We listened to teachers, principals, professors, employers, scientists, and parents. We observed thousands of students inside real classrooms. We reflected on data showing that high schools, when compared to K-8, have made virtually no progress in critical thinking and problem solving for decades. We pored over the research from the sciences of learning and development, including equity, social-emotional learning, and culturally responsive practices. And then we rolled up our sleeves and got to work. I'm Catherine Salduti, president and founder of EduChange. In this video, I'm sharing 3 benefits of our open learning architecture, and I'll provide resources to help you question the premises and precedents underlying your own academic systems. Open learning architecture is a holistic systems approach to educational design, where open refers to mechanisms and decisions that create more fluid, flexible, and dynamic interactions between the academic system and its stakeholders. Learning, not compliance, is centered as the why of the classroom. And architecture provides the systems and structures that confer stability and resilience in a range of conditions. Here are 3 ways we opened up academic systems for learning. I've been in over 1,100 classrooms, not including my own. My observations and published research both confirm that students require more practice over longer periods of time than conventional secondary school curriculum permits. We are simply assessing students too early, before they have time to deeply learn concepts or practice higher-order cognitive skills. To exacerbate this problem, educators seem to trap certain content inside certain units or projects and only teach it once. So when students do not perform well on in-class tests and summative assessments, the overstuffed required curriculum is blamed. Then teachers give students redos and retakes in order to recoup points. This is a compliance fix, but not a learning fix. Educators often say that the problem is the lack of time. What if restructuring the way we use time can correct this problem? We assess students when they can be successful, not simply because it's the end of the unit. This opens up assessment to longer time frames, which is key for adolescent development. We also removed one and done. If something is valuable to your school, teach and assess it, again and again. This simple framework for checks and balances holds our own designs accountable. We added learning back into assessment with a complete set of competencies that remain stable over multiple years. Stability is required for real growth. By not moving the goalposts, we remove needless anxiety for teachers and students, while sending the message that expert learning is the goal. This builds learner confidence authentically and helps them persevere in the face of challenge. Stability over longer time frames also creates prime conditions for equity, since diverse combinations of strengths shine through. The architecture ensures there is more than one way to get an A. Students are not ranked against each other. They learn how to offer support, ask for help, and share what they know, without fearing they will be judged or outranked as a result. In functional systems, different mechanisms and components work together. So when we open up assessment, it is very easy to open up the disciplines. To demonstrate this design move, we broke down the silos of high school science. If it's beneficial for students to deepen their learning and progress to incrementally more difficult texts and tasks, then we must interleave concepts and higher order skills in new contexts over multiple years. By making science whole, we can support more holistic, hyper-connected learning, which is exactly what teen brains crave. Different students enjoy aha moments at different times and in different contexts, which creates an experience of application, not repetition. Connecting back to assessment, these revisits send the message that feedback is valuable, that learners will get another chance to demonstrate understanding and competence. These aspects of open learning architecture have made it much easier to meet standards and graduation requirements, and in the same amount of time. We found that many high school faculty were relying on past precedent, not legislation or policy, to construct disciplinary pathways. There aren't many places where schools are prevented from constructing more holistic, integrated pathways. A terrible side effect of disciplinary silos has been the creation of content castes, where status or difficulty is ascribed to certain kinds of content. These castes effectively prevent certain students from accessing certain content, creating a giant equity problem within academia. When we look out into the real world, the why of disciplinary integration is easy to support. The world's wicked problems all require interdisciplinary solutions. In STEM, we are seeing more universities turn to interdisciplinary majors and more professional titles like biogeochemist or computational geneticist. The future, quite simply, is not siloed. It's time to see how open learning architecture gives learners opportunities for affirmation, agency, and creativity. By opening up the disciplines, we can tap global and local issues that impact students personally. This opens up the classroom to multiple cultures, demographies, and geographies. Exposure to different ways of knowing and seeing affirm that diversity is powerful and likely the only way to solve society's toughest challenges. Longer time frames for incubation, hyper-connected content, and dynamic real-world issues are all ingredients for creativity. Materials can be intentionally left unfinished, thus taking advantage of the most powerful aspect of open educational resources: content co-creation. And real-world content opens the door to an essential facet of learner agency: digital citizenship and responsible media use. This, in turn, increases disciplinary literacy and deeper learning, which empowers learners to develop and steward their own projects. When learners can articulate to those beyond their school walls what they know and are able to do, they manifest the promise of truly transferable competence. And we can't say we are opening up the learning experience without teaching students how inclusive and assistive technologies work for everyone at different times and for different reasons. We've watched these technologies evolve over the past decade and firmly believe in inviting learners to customize their content with these tools by their side. Thank you for being open to learning more about this work. I welcome you to get in touch with me if you think this approach to secondary school science could work for the learners you serve. I hope this will open conversations in your learning setting. And to assist with that process, I've prepared some discussion protocols that you can use in an upcoming meeting or retreat. I'm sharing an annotated bibliography of some of our favorite research reports, as well as a 2-page summary of 10 shifts we made to build open learning architecture. I extend an open invitation to continue this conversation with you at any time. Thank you.